If we think of a place of well-being, equality, and harmony, we might think of Costa Rica, but all achievements have to be continuously cultivated. So I invite the dynamic Vice President of Costa Rica, Helena Chacón, who is equally at ease in august settings or in poor communities or in popular assemblies, to share how Costa Rica uses its MPI as a tool for action. Ana Elena.
Thank you, Sabina. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Sabina. Thank you so much for inviting me and to come and share the experience of Costa Rica. Mr. President, thank you so much and for hosting us here and all members here at the panel. It's so nice to see you, Davina. For the government of Costa Rica, especially for the administration of Solis Rivera, it's a great honor to come here and talk to you about how we are working with this multinational index, because people who are in poverty, they are in poverty because of different reasons. In Costa Rica, we had measured poverty exclusively from lack of money before. But since 2014, we were invited by Sabina and John also, dear John, to use this in the multidimensional poverty index, and we became the country that really applied this quicker. And 1 year we had to applying this in the National Institute of Statistics and Census, and therefore we have been able to really analyze what are the reasons and look at the different dimensions why somebody ends up in poverty. And I would like to share with you some examples. We started with this measure in 2015, and by the year 2016, the multidimensional poverty had gone down by 1.6% through governmental programs, in particular the development program, which pays attention to families that are living in extreme poverty, but in a personalized manner, and looking at different aspects. And we looked at what these families were lacking, and with all the different indicators, and if we could reduce 3 of them, and then we determined if there were 3, there were families of multinational poverty. And the person in charge of the lowering poverty, we have said that this is the ethical decision that any government should take, the power to initiate the work with people who are lacking the most. And another experience that I would like to share with you is that we were also the first country in the world, and so far, I believe, the only one, that we have an alliance public-private in order to go ahead with this. And we have the Asociación Horizonte Positivo, the positive association of Horizon. We have an alliance which has facilitated to a great degree this process. And also now we are including this EPM to our development plan, and therefore we have also been the first country that we have based our national budget on the PMI. So therefore, with the same resources, we can see exactly where the deficiencies are, and we can really provide the resources that are needed to really be able to have a progress. We have also looked at telecommunications. So the connectivity is fundamental regarding inequalities. So we have looked, for example, a lack of electricity, just like other countries are doing, but we also looked at a lack of connectivity. Well, in Costa Rica, we have 98% connection to electricity in the country. And we have now become the first country that we're looking at reduction of the digital gap as a measure of poverty. And we have been recognized through this by UTN as a country that is innovating country in this regard. And this has allowed us to have strategies for development that are much more using this technology. So, for example, we are working with the young people between 24 and 35 years of age. that have not finished secondary education. And also with the PMI, we have an indicator to have women leadership, but this was not, well, it wasn't identified, but we have been looking at people who are outside of the market for different reasons. And 99% of those who respond to this are women. So we need to look at and see if there is not at the infrastructure, it has to be responsible to make sure we don't leave 50% of our population outside of the labor market, because that would be an enormous waste of such an important group. So therefore, we have increased not only the networks during the day, but also during the night, and in bringing the women back to school. And we really want a better life for everybody. And in order to create our own project of happiness, we need to have a total respect for the human rights. And therefore, Costa Rica really appreciates today that we have learned so much from you, Sabina. And we're able to really reach and have a region where there's much more, there's more equality, more fairness, and less pain and more peace. Thank you so much.
Gracias, Ana Helena.